Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video day. And today the Houston Astros play the Tampa Bay Rays for game 111 as the Astros wrap up this three-game series against this Tampa Bay Rays team. And not only do they wrap up the three-game series against Tampa, but they also wrap up the 9-game homestand, which has been one of the longest homestands of the 2024 season for the Houston Astros. This will be a fun one. The first game on Friday was a great game. Yusei Kikuchi went out there and had a great Astros debut. Bullpen backed him up, looked great. The lineup didn't look great. Yanner Diaz actually had a really good game on Friday. So did Jeremy Pena. And the Astros were able to get a win, a very close win, 3-2. And then yesterday was absolutely a crap show. Things started off good with Ronel Blanco looking good to start off. And he really didn't look that bad, only gave up 2 runs in 5 innings. John Singleton hit a home run to start off, and the Astros were up 1-0, but then the Rays just started showing their power. Yandy Diaz hit a home run. Josh Lowe hit 2 home runs, and then Brandon Lowe, who's not even related to Josh Lowe, hit a 2 RBI single, and the Astros lost 6-1. The offense needs to get their crap together. They only had yesterday 4 hits. And we'll see if they can do that today. Let's go over what this lineup looks like. We're gonna see Spencer Arrighetti on the mound tonight, or this evening at 1:10 for the Houston Astros. Game is at 1:10. It's currently 11 o'clock in the morning, and so we are gonna see this game start at 1:10 as first pitch on Space City Home Network. But we're gonna go over what the lineup looks like for the Houston Astros. So. A little bit of change compared to yesterday's lineup, and we'll go over what that looks like. Lead off Jose Altuve. I want to get to Jose Altuve before I continue. I see Jose Altuve having a big game today. Yesterday wasn't terrible. He just wasn't. It didn't make a lot of noise. He had a walk and he had a single, but I mean it wasn't a bad game for Jose. It was just a solid game for Jose Altuve. Now. We haven't really seen him make a lot of noise recently. People talk about him being a Yankee killer and a Ranger killer, which he is, of course. But the Tampa Bay Rays, I don't know what the numbers are now that he's played the last 2 games against Tampa. I don't think it's changed that much. But going into this series, Jose Altuve had a 294 batting average against the Tampa Bay Rays. He had 9 more hits than games played against Tampa Bay. Which is pretty interesting. He had 9. It was like 60. I believe it was like 61 games played and like 70 hits against the Tampa Bay Rays, which is really impressive. And like 11 or 12 home runs in 60 games against Tampa Bay. So that's really impressive as well. But so far he hasn't done anything besides a single and a walk yesterday. So I'm gonna predict. That's my big prediction for today, is that Jose Altuve has a big game for the Houston Astros. Then at 2, third base, Alex Bregman. I know Bregman has been struggling lately. I've been seeing some Astros fans saying, move him out of the 2 spot. I wouldn't mind that, but who are you going to put at the 2 spot is the question. I wouldn't want to see Yordan Alvarez at the 2 spot. I would support putting Jeremy Pena at the 2 spot, but outside of Jeremy, I don't really see, until Kyle Tucker potentially comes back, I don't see anybody else that's better for the Astros having it the 2 spot. I mean, like if Kyle Tucker came back, which it's every day it's looking more and more like that's not going to happen, maybe I think you can move Bregman away from the 2 spot. But I don't like Yordan there. Yanner Diaz is doing very excellent at the cleanup spot. Also a guy like John. You're not gonna put John Singleton at the number 2. So outside of Bregman, who's the current 2-hitter, there aren't a lot of candidates outside of Yordan or Jeremy Pena. So I guess if Pedro Leon just starts killing it and starts putting up Rookie of the Year numbers, maybe you could move him to the 2 spot. Right now he's at the 9 spot. So I don't think there's really anybody outside of Breggy, the current 2-hitter, and also Jeremy Pena, who has been the 2-hitter before for the Astros, as the candidates right now to be in the 2 spot for the Astros. So I don't mind Bregman staying there at the 2 until Kyle Tucker would potentially return. Then at number 3, you have DH Yordan Alvarez. At At the cleanup spot, you have catcher Yanner Diaz. At the 5 spot, you have shortstop Jeremy Pena. At 6, you have first baseman John Singleton. He's had a great series. He went 2 for 4 on Friday, went 1 for 3 yesterday with a home run. At 7, playing left field, you have Mauricio Dubon. He's played this whole series, which I think he deserved after that game on Wednesday where he had that 2-run home run. So he's looked excellent for the Astros. Not in this series, but looked excellent for the Astros on Wednesday. He was the hero. And he played. So yesterday he played for the Astros. Yesterday for the Astros he played in left field. On Friday he played right. And now he's playing left again. So in the 3 games in this series, he's played in right field, left field, and left field. Then at 8 in center field, you have Chas McCormick. And then at the 9 spot, you have the right fielder, Pedro Leon. I'm excited to see what Pedro Leon can do in his second game in the major leagues. I mean, Pedro Leon, we saw yesterday, he had a single, got thrown out at second base. That was a little bit of a tough play. But it was a hard hit ball and looked pretty solid in his 3 at-bats. He struck out in his final at-bat, but second at-bat, he made some contact with a line out. So for 3 at-bats, not that bad for a guy making his major league debut. So I'm excited to see what he can go do in his second game today. And then on the mound is Spencer Arrighetti. I mean, he's been all right. His last 5 starts, not so great. 27 innings pitched, and he's given up 16 earned runs, which is an ERA of 5.36. So hopefully he can have a good game today. And I'm not in a feeling where I don't feel like he will. I mean, because this is a Tampa Bay Rays lineup that just had a great hitting performance of 13 hits, and that's really good for them. So, when you see an offense have a game like that, you really could see them calm down and not and have a game where where their bats are a little bit dry. And I think when you see a game for the Astros bats where their bats are dry and have been dry, they definitely can wake up. I think it could be a game like that today for the Astros, where the Astros bats that have been, a little bit tired and a little bit useless recently might wake up, and then the Tampa Bay Rays bats that have been on fire this last game with 13 hits and 6 runs scored and 3 home runs. I think you could see, potentially them calm down. And I'm interested to see how Spencer Arrighetti goes out there and does on the mound today for the Houston Astros. But for my predictions, I'm going to go ahead and say the Astros win this game. I think we see the best we've seen from the offense throughout this series, although I think it'd be pretty hard to not be better than what they've been in the last 2 games. Three runs scored on Friday, 1 run scored yesterday. So if you can't do better than that, there's no hope. So I'm gonna say the Astros definitely do better than that. I'm gonna say they get a win. Their bullpen got rested. The big guys a part of the bullpen got rested yesterday, like Josh Hader, Ryan Presley, and Brian Abreu. So those guys could be available to you today if you need them with Spencer Arrighetti on the mound. I think that's what the Astros wanted, was to have those guys available. So your best guys in the bullpen are available. Obviously, I don't think Taylor Scott's available pitching the last 2 games, but you have Abreu, Presley, and Hader available. I'm going to say that I'm still sticking that Jose Altuve finally shows he's a Tampa Bay Rays killer and has a good game. And I'm going to predict that there's going to be some good things from Pedro Leon in this game. And final prediction for hitters, I'm going to say that Alex Bregman at least gets a hit. I don't know if it's going to be a great game for Breggy, but I think that I don't think we're going to see another 0 for 4 or 0 for 5 game for Alex Bregman, like we've been seeing the last couple games. Bregman has definitely been struggling recently, but I'm going to say that he ends up having a good game today. Yesterday he went 0 for 4. Oh, he hasn't been terrible in this series. Yesterday he went 0 for 4. He went 2 for 4 on Friday, and had a good 2 for 4 day on Friday. But the series before that in Pittsburgh, he struggled a lot. So hopefully we can see Bregman outside of that, outside of outside of Friday's game yesterday and in the Pittsburgh series, Bregman's been struggling. So hopefully we can see him wake up. Same thing for Jose Altuve, and maybe the Astros get a win. So I'm going to say the Astros get a win, but I think if they win today, I think it's because of the offense and solid pitching on Arrieta's end. And I'm also going to predict that the Phillies do not get swept by the Mariners, even though they blew a stupid lead yesterday. And the Astros go back to first in the division with a win over Tampa Bay and a loss for Seattle against Philadelphia. Philadelphia has to be embarrassed if they get swept by Seattle. I know Seattle's a solid team, but Philadelphia is a way better team than Seattle. So for them to get swept by them, they got to be ashamed that happens. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and peace out. Go Astros.